Hi, we're the Billboard Road Crew, and we'd like to thank you for coming on this road trip with us. Today's pit stop is the 2023 uh, Best List,
Mm-hmm.
and today's drivers are Sundrop, Roadrunner, and myself, Fanstar.
Hello, what's going
Hello,
on?
hello. We can finally get to the good stuff of the year after the worst list.
Yay!
Yeah,
Um,
2023
Yeah, absolutely.
has been a very interesting year in terms of which
Yeah.
genres have been big.
Definitely.
Oh man, and that's putting it mildly.
Yeah, well, hip hop did take a slight bit of a backstep in terms of popularity. Um,
hmm
But
Country come straight to the forefront, and then we've also seen
Mm,
some new genres become massive, like
mm-hmm.
the
hmm
corridos tumbados from the regional Mexican scene.
Yeah.
100%.
Um, okay,
So,
so I guess I can start us off on my first honorable mention,
okay,
Sure.
and then Sundrop can go, and then Fanstar. Um,
you got it.
so my first honorable mention is gonna go. I forgot if it was on any of your worst lists. But my first honorable mention is going to be Rich Flex by Drake and 21 Savage.
I think that was a dishonorable mention on my worst list. I think it was.
That wasn't on either of my lists.
Okay. Yeah. Um so I'll say I know as much as people hate this album, I actually liked her loss and I will stick up for it barring some major exceptions like Circo Loco. The way I see this record, like both Drake and 21 are playing characters of sorts, kind of like The Weeknd in Future, where they inhabit this very toxic persona, which I think can work in certain contexts. This song being a major highlight for me as Drake actually sounds invested for one. The amount of energy and lyrical ability on display here is something we haven't seen from him in a long time, and I'm personally a sucker when he's in this mode. 21 does a great job too. He has a little bit less energy, but lyrics are still on point. And of course, we have the classic, like, 21, can you do something for me? That everyone quotes now. That I think the funniest part is Drake, like, wanted that to be, like, a hard line, but everyone just made fun of it.
Right.
And it probably got on his nerves, which makes it even funnier. But, like, yeah, in a year with
hmm
so much bad stuff from him, this was personally a breath of fresh air for me, and it won't be the last time I'll be talking about him. I'll say that.
Oh, okay. I have anticipation.
Yeah.
I think I pretty much shared my thoughts on that song in the last list, so I won't like harp on it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I got a couple hot takes kind of around that. I did also like her loss. I think For All the Dogs is even better.
Oh yeah.
It was almost a somewhat return to form. I mean, it's his best album since his mixtape in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
but of course, it's not nearly as good as that.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, and also, you're talking like if like that toxic personality thing with like Future in the Weekend. It kind of reminded me of one of the Weekend's current global hits, "One of the Girls" with
Mm-hmm.
Jenny and Lily Rose Depp. It looks
Yeah, I
like it's
can
kind
see
of
that.
stalling in the U.S., but that's a
hmm
very
I see
controversial
what you're making.
song.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I guess I can give my first honorable mention. That is gonna go to "Dial Drunk" by Noah Khan and Post
Ooh.
Malone.
Okay.
Noah Khan has to be one of my favorite breakout stars of 2023. To be frank, I prefer the version where Noah is singing solo because Post Malone's verse just adds too much pop flair, but that's not enough to bring down this song, filled with passion, comedy, a peppy folk composition, and perhaps one of the cleverest choruses the year saw. It's been a while since we've had a folk song make a big impact on the charts. Well, hopefully Noah could lead the resurgence along with Rosalind. I knew I had to find some way to give a shout out to Rosalind on this list, so there you have it.
Yeah. I'll have more to say on Dial Drunk later. Let's just say that.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one didn't make my list, but that was more just competition than anything else. It's a really good song.
Nice. So what about you, Fanstar?
My first honorable mention is 1% by Grupo Frontera and Bad Bunny.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, 2023, the year where the various regional Mexican scenes were huge in the States. I'm
Okay.
using like the scene because like it's consistent of a bunch of different genres, like banda, norteño, ríos tumbados. That second one, norteño, is kind of like what Grupo Frontera falls under. Uh, but yeah, this one was the biggest hit of that whole wave globally, thanks to Bad Bunny. And
Nice.
he fits surprisingly well and has surprisingly good chemistry with Grupo Frontera here, for how different their styles are normally and how different their
Okay.
production that they usually are on is. That
Nice.
switch up into like the more reggaeton influenced stuff on Bad Bunny's verse also works surprisingly well. Though of
Nice.
course, my favorite parts with Grupo Frontera, they're still the stars of the show here. But yeah,
Oh,
it's just
wonderful.
kind of a showcase how versatile artist Bad Bunny can be, and uh, I also think he show some like respect to it too.
Nice. Well, I don't. I think I kind of forgot how this song went when I did my year-end listening, but I'm pretty sure if I were to re-listen to it, I would jam with it.
Yeah.
Um, I'll take your word for it, Fanstar.
Yeah, this is a good segue as my second honorable mention is also Un Por Ciento by Grupo Frontera and Bad Bunny.
mm.
Yeah. Uh, as Fansar said, this year came with the wave of regional Mexican music, and Grupo Frontera were one of the people spearheading the movement. Due to this wave, there were bigger artists that were inevitably going to join in on this sound. And I think this collab couldn't have gotten any better. For one, there's actually like really clean mixing and mastering here, which you don't see on a lot of regional mixing. Although, on average, like Grupo Frontera has better mixing and mastering than someone like Peso Pluma or like Fuerza Regida. So, and
Hmm.
all the instruments come through more clearly, and it's just more colorful, and it the way they're able to blend both Bad Bunny and Grupo Frontera's sound is so cool, and it's in a way that actually works. And I think that they were talking about a version of this song without Bad Bunny, and I think it wouldn't have turned out as good without Bad Bunny on it
It doesn't feel forced. He kind of just
at
he
all.
fits on
Yeah.
it, I'd say. Uh, and yeah, a lot of the songs in that kind of scene are going for like this more of like live, almost like in person kind of feel, despite being like re-releases recorded music. Um, Grupo Frontera's first crossover hit to the states, "No Se Va" in vivo, which is a cover of the Marats song from 2018, is has a much more
Or that live
less
feel.
polished mix than something like 1%.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Sun.
Well, yeah, sure. I'm happy to give my second honorable mention. I'm gonna get a little spicy here. It'll be an unexpected choice. But my second pick was "Daylight" by David Kushner.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know some people can't stand Daylight because they say the artist is trying too hard to copy Bon Iver or Hozier. But I enjoy the dark atmosphere it possesses. The way the instrumentation builds up to that climax is deserving of praise, and the beautifully gothic way he sings about giving into temptation, even if he knows it'll destroy him with regret. Most of all, hearing him sing that fourth pitch on the final chorus gets me excited. I don't know if we'll get more hits from David Kushner, but I'm glad this is the song of his that got huge.
Yeah. Um, I don't think I also don't think Daylight's that bad. I just wish that like David Kushner was more of a charismatic performer. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
fun fact about
Fair. Fair.
yeah, a fun fact about David Kushner. I don't know if you remember Sundrop, but like when we tried to record those Spotify episodes, the first one we recorded had a David Kushner song, like all the way at the start of 2022, I think it was.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, that was so
And
long ago. Really?
yeah, and it was way before he broke out in the States, and it was like on the lower like 1/4 of the chart too. So it's like we kind of got a sneak peek at what was to come just from recording that episode. I thought that was a bit funny. Um,
Oh wow.
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'll say
it's not bad.
I'll say this: Daylight's better than his recent single he just dropped. That got a bit of traction.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So with that, why don't we pass the mic to Fanstar so he can give his second honorable
Yeah,
mention?
my second honorable mention is one of the three biggest hits of 2023, "Flowers" by Miley Cyrus.
okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's quite wild that Miley got her biggest hit 10 years
Mm-hmm.
after like last number one back in 2013. So
Mm-hmm.
late into
Right.
her career. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very
That
interesting
Columbiola.
like a sample flip of like "When I Was Your Man" by Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how like the song that how the song does it because like it completely flips the story from reminiscing about a breakup, what could have been, to well, still I guess being a breakup, um, but like in like a but this time from kind of self empowerment, kind of self empowerment anthem as well. Uh, yeah, like the productions, of course, also just great here. As a huge pop.
Mm-hmm. Me personally, I've spoken a few times about how I kind of found Flowers to be a bit meh. But I do acknowledge why it's like such an important, why it's become such an important song in Miley's discography. It's one of her biggest hits of the past 10 years. It finally won her Grammys. It helped like it like really like it really helped the public warm up to her more, and it also helped the public really respect her as a performer, you know, years after, she really got huge. So yeah, in that sense, I do have respect for Flowers, even if I'm not impressed by the song itself.
Yeah, I guess it's also worth noting that part of how it had such a massive debut was that it came. I think it came out like literally one day after the Bizarre Music Sessions 53 with Shakira, which was
Mm,
which hit somewhat similar notes. Though that one's a bit more of a diss, and they ended up, I guess, kind of both boosting each other globally
mm,
quite
Yeah,
substantially.
I I will say like I do think it's interesting that she decided to not play, but like she started to speak more openly about the whole like divorce and relationship issues she went through, like two album cycles after it all went down, and
hmm
I can agree with Sandra by saying like I respect this. I do think it's a good song. I can definitely respect it more than I like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Um. Yeah. So I guess now we can move on to third honorable mention, and
Yeah.
for my third, it was such a toss up. What it's gonna end up being my number 10 in this one was maybe the hardest
Okay.
placement I had to do, but
Okay.
this my last honorable mention is gonna go to "Boys a Liar" Part Two by Pink Panthers and Ice Spice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Uh,
Oh wow.
When I think about the sound of this decade, this is the song I automatically think about. The lively 8-bit Jersey Club instrumental mixed with Pink Panthers' usually high pitched singing, and Ice Spice coming through with some actual charisma that we don't see on a lot of her verses. Like, I don't know, what's not to like about this track, you know? Just a great track all around.
Absolutely. I will have plenty more to say about it as we go further.
Yeah, it's again the competition comes off mine, but I do quite like it. Though I gotta say I'm quite mixed on Ice Spice's discography as a whole. I did, for example, I did not like Princess Diana, and uh, I don't like her new single either. Thank you, the shit fart. Though I think
Yeah.
most people that weren't huge on that one.
I Yeah, I mean, I kind of like that one, but I can definitely see why people aren't aren't so hot on it.
So I think I'll just give my final honorable mention. That is going to "Anti-Hero" by Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Another year where Taylor only makes my honorable mentions. This one hurts too because out of all of Taylor's introspective anthems, this one offers the most self-doubt, the most wit, and easily the most comedy. You can feel the shame playing in her head, especially when she sings the breakdown, letting that self-loathing creep through. People say the bridge on Cruel Summer is pure art, but Anti-Hero's bridge just blew me away with how ridiculous it is. I still have 10 other songs I admire way more, but the world's biggest pop star certainly deserves recognition.
Yeah, I mean, Anti-Hero is another case where I respect the song more than I like it. Like, it's a structure very well. It's just a good pop song all around. I never go back to it personally. Because I also do think there's some cringy lines in there that's hard to like get past, but otherwise, yeah, it's a really respectable track.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anti-Hero is one that just missed my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really good song. Though I will be
Okay.
talking about Taylor for sure
Same.
later.
Ooh. Nice, nice. I'm looking forward to it. So, Fanstar, what was your third honorable mention?
My third honorable mention was Ella Vaya Sola by Es La Banda Amado and Peso Pluma,
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
the biggest hit from the Mexican scene in the United States, and one from the genre that was that was biggest this year, Corridos Tumbados.
Nice.
My first introduction to Esteban Amado was like Jugaste y Sufre in
Okay.
2021, which I did not like very much.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't really like that or Bateas Patas Batea or Batea by Gara MX and Christian Nodal. Those were like the first couple regional Mexican songs to cross over on the Hot 100 in
Okay.
like a long time, but back in 2021, but
Mm.
wasn't really huge on it either. This, of course, is it's a collab that really brings out the best in both artists. It's also um, I think the best produced Crios Tombados hit, at least
Right.
in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in unlike the usual Crios Tombados like lyrics, which are often that was like tasteful. Here it's actually kind of like this kind of surprisingly tasteful thing about like this girl. They like noticed at
Nice.
the club, or I guess I assume it's a club.
Okay.
I don't think they specify the place exactly,
Right.
but yeah,
Um.
it just sounds great.
Yeah. I am definitely gonna have more to say about the song further down the road.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
okay. I I definitely really like the song. It didn't just it like I don't it was like in that weird middle area where it's like it didn't make my best list, but also it's not like yeah, I just think it's just a really good Korea Sambaro song all around from both artists. Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
Now we can get to our list proper. And
Yeah.
for my number 10, I don't know if this is a hot take, but I have One Thing at a Time by Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All
Um,
right.
Morgan Wallen, I will admit, put out a lot of absolute horseshit this year. but
Straight ass.
yes,
Just straight ass.
straight ass all around. But I will. This is one single I will stick up for on this album, and first reason is it has one of the best instrumentals Wallen has utilized yet. What I like about it is it has like slight 80s tinge to it that gives it a lot of like
Okay.
character. Also, him talking about how his partner can help him get through all his bad habits just by them spending time together. I thought was cute, but at least that's my interpretation of it. Just a really fun track overall.
Yeah. I think it was probably one of the more tolerable Morgan Wallen songs, especially when you compare it to the other hits of his that became huge during 2023.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I somewhat like this one. I think One Thing at a Time actually isn't that bad of an album. Though I'm kind of in the minority on that one. Of course, it's very bloated with a lot of filler, but there are also a lot of quite good tracks. It's a shame most of like the stuff I really liked from the album either just missed or wasn't close at all to the year end.
Mm.
Yeah, like Tennessee Fan, for instance, or Last Drive Down Main.
That's right. Yeah. Um.
Okay. So am I going next?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. My number 10 pick was Memory Lane by Old Dominion.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I've had a weird relationship with Old Dominion. And by weird, I mean practically non-existent. I guess they were just one of those country groups that I noticed was always around, but never felt like giving attention to. But that changed this year with Memory Lane. For starters, I enjoy the atmosphere this song is able to set up. You feel like you're relaxing on the front porch of your house when it's evening time. The streetlights are dim, and you just sit back in your chair as the environment becomes calm. The relaxing guitar is also appreciated, adding to the gentle feeling of the tone. But what really landed this song a spot on my list is the chorus. The way the production ramps up towards the end and gives us another set of rhymes, making you excited for that climactic moment. You get the sense that the lead singer, Matthew Ramsey, is just getting carried away in his thoughts, being swept away in the much simpler times when him and his girlfriend were living in perfect harmony. There's a layer of bittersweetness to the whole tune, where he's reflecting on what could have been and getting lost in the process. I'm very impressed with how the track turned out, and it looks like Old Dominion was able to dazzle a new listener.
Interesting. I think this song's about average for them, but I don't really care for Memory for Old Dominion in general as a
Okay.
band. They like most of their singles range between passable to pretty mediocre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Same here. I kind of. I don't. I don't even remember. I thought it was maybe one of the lesser country songs on the list, but I mean, no, I mean, you made some good points for it too.
Thank you, thank you. So let's hear Fanstar's number 10 pick.
My number 10 was Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Well, it's maybe not as good as the lead single for Sour, Driver's License. It still hits in its own unique way. I love the way the song builds up, starting very spare, and then suddenly bringing in more instruments in accompaniment up to I guess like the first chorus, and then
Right.
the bridge. as
Right.
well. I generally do like the writing. I don't have like as many issues with it as like some other people do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I do think it still could have been a bit sharper, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm not actually that huge on the chorus itself as like a payoff.
Mm-hmm.
But those are like some almost like quibbles.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's still a great song.
Okay. I've shared plenty of thoughts on Vampire and like multiple videos at this point. Y'all probably know my thoughts, so I don't need to like explain myself.
Yeah. I will have more to say later on that. So.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Uh,
So would I be starting off the number
yes.
9 then?
You're starting.
All
off
right.
then.
Let's do it. My number 9 pick was Golden Hour by Jake.
All right.
I guess we could chalk another one up for TikTok.
Yes.
I remember being so worried that Golden Hour would become a non-hit for 2022, feeling that I wouldn't get an opportunity to talk about it on the channel. But 2023 swooped in and saved the day. The classical piano is definitely what carries the song, but truth be told, I was already charmed by how the song opens with the first verse. The casual shoutouts to Frank Ocean and Childish Gambino, and Jake having to confess to his mom that he didn't call her back because he was occupied on his date. I enjoy how well he paints the scene. Once again, the chorus is what takes it to a whole new level. The booming bass that hits right as he belts Shine, the progressive violins in the third verse, and the snare drum that comes in on the second chorus all makes for a glorious experience. He makes it sound like his girlfriend truly is radiant, shimmering in the night. The ending is also very poetic, where we hear Jake finish playing his piano as the birds come chirping in, bringing him out of his high and back to reality. Whatever Jake pursues next in his pop music career, he can feel proud of Golden Hour going platinum. It ain't no Casey Musgrave track, but it'll do.
Yeah, I will. The Golden Hour was close to making my best list for sure. It's
Oh man, really?
Yeah, it's honestly, if you listen to any other Jake song, it's kind of a miracle that this song turned out the way it did. I don't know, I think it's really good, but like once you click on something else he's made, you're like, oh, oh, so the Golden Hour is a fluke, huh? But yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, this is definitely a special track from him, especially considering if it's true that he's actually the ghostwriter dude from TikTok that has been using AI. It's like, if that's the case, then, dude, you're definitely better than this. You can make your own tracks.
Right, exactly.
You don't need to use AI. But, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Golden Hour, too.
Okay.
It's definitely shrunk on me over time. I still do like the instrumentation here, the production, but I just don't like Jake as an artist. And like the way he's like singing like in raps here. There's a lot of very baffling choices in that department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That got attracted to the song.
That's what I understand. So why don't we ask Fanstar what his number 9 pick was?
Yes.
My number 9 pick, Watermelon Moonshine by Lainey Wilson.
All right.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Lainey been like one like probably like the biggest rising stars like in the female side of country music, which has increasingly been like outside of like her been struggling to get any traction on radio without at least having like a male co-sign. By shame. Like Kelsey Ballerini could even make the top 10 with her most recent single. If you're going down, I'm going down too. But yeah, Lainey's currently still going strong, and this one was able to just barely sneak its way on the year end. Don't like that for
Yes. Number 100.
Yeah, this is a kind of like a story song about her first time. Well, in kind of two different ways, like having a drink and making love.
Yes.
The other thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's kind of like totally this in a hindsight way. kind of like her older, more mature self, start making light of it's like funny things like her old self or young self.
Hmm.
Like example, the like I said the one, uh, but
Yeah.
of course that didn't hold up. Uh,
Right.
yeah, you're so sure when you're that young. Was like the
Hmm.
line after that. Uh,
Right.
I just love the lyric here and um, and the production from Jay Joyce is quite nice, almost homespun,
Nice.
and works well with what Lane's going for.
Nice. Yeah, I remember enjoying Watermelon Moonshine quite a bit. It was very romantic, and Lainey Wilson had a wonderful singing voice. Very slow, very soft in the ears, and yeah, like this is another song that she can feel very proud of.
I think it's a pretty decent track. I really like Lainey Wilson, and her rise in country. Her newest single, I'm more of a fan of. I think it's called like Wildflowers or
Wild
something.
Tires and Wild
Hmm.
Horses.
Yeah, that one is really good. I hope that has the same type of run Watermelon Moonshine does. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Nothing to hate about it. Nothing I love.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I guess now we can go to number 9
On your list,
on mine. Yes.
I don't think. Yeah.
So I have on this one "Spin 'Bout You" by Drake and 21 Savage.
Ah, here we go. Here we
Yes.
go. More Drake. Let's go. Let's
Yes.
go.
Okay, this song is probably one of the least toxic songs on the entire record, and I'm thankful it ended up.
Least toxic.
Yeah, I'm thankful it ended up being the second biggest hit from it because it shows off both artists' best strengths. For one, both people here are showing their more like sensitive and caring side. With them proclaiming they will do anything for the girls that they're with, or and Drake's win humor is on point here. 21 is there for the assist as always. And also you get a rare side of Drake being right on the right side of an issue and sympathizing with other women about Roe v. Wade. I don't know. I just think it's a really well crafted hip hop song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. I think this is a song that was in my dishonorable mentions, not the other one.
Yeah.
But you've probably already heard my thoughts on that. So but yeah. So I won't really elaborate too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spin About You. I think it's my favorite. One of my favorite songs off of Her Loss. Sure.
Yeah. I guess now we can move on to number 8, and Fanstar starting us off with that.
Yep, and more country.
Ooh.
Okay.
Here is "Love You Anyway" by Luke Combs.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I absolutely
Nice.
love the direction Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs went with his 2023 album "Getting Old" in terms of like production and stylistically. Um, while Morgan Wallen is going more in the direction of like trap country, Combs is leaning more towards the neo traditional sound, but plenty of steel, fiddle, and other organic instruments. And then "Love You Anyway" is a great representation of that, and it uses those to create just a beautiful soundscape for a love song.
Nice.
And then it also lyrically is a bit of a twist on the formula, because it's because in the chorus comes says that even if he knew this woman would break his heart, he'd still be unable to not love her anyway.
Classic Luke Combs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun that I can see another artist like potentially like riffing on that, but Combs is just able to sound so earnest from the heart that it just works.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Luke Combs. Oh yeah, you were gonna say something, Roadrunner.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, "Love You Anyway" is a really good track. Like it had a surprisingly high streaming debut, but I know he like did a snippet of it on TikTok beforehand. Yeah, I mean, just overall really good track for me.
Yeah, like he always knows how to put together a good country song. Like
Mm-hmm.
I trust him at this point.
Yeah. I guess now on to my number 8. I have "Cruel Summer" by Taylor Swift.
Hey,
Yes.
Tay Tay.
I will admit that I did not get this one at first, but as the year went on, it definitely grew on me a lot. We kind of see Taylor in rare form here that we don't see often, with her more like not charismatic, but like bombastic,
No,
yeah,
not that bad.
that type of thing. Like, just more fun and bombastic delivery, and just the goddamn production on this thing oozes character, which makes sense since Saint Vincent had a hand on production here. And yeah, this is a song I would give an example for one of the most perfectly constructed pop songs of all time, hands down.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, like that bridge is just phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
people were raving about the bridge like before I even had like a good chance to listen to it, and once I did, I was like, okay, yeah, people knew
Yeah.
what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Cruel Summer, I totally get why it's big. Like, I would say it's like one of my personal favorite Taylor Swift songs, but yeah, I think it's a song that deserves to be a chart topper. Like, it's so like grand and it's very like loud and like theatrical, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
It's definitely a song that I will talk about later.
Okay,
All right.
wonderful.
Yeah. Um.
Okay, so
Now on to your number 8, Sundrop.
okay, my number 8 pick was Ella Bella Sola by
Ooh.
Esteban Armado and Peso Pluma. So regional Mexican music was one of the more surprising trends of this year, but I don't think anyone is making a complaint out of that. After all, it gave us Ella Bella Sola, which might actually be one of 2023's biggest party jams.
Mm-hmm.
What's really enjoyable is how simple the premise is. We just hear two guys chilling at a party together, and they see this attractive girl dancing by herself, and they try to see if they can impress her. One of my favorite moments is when Peso Pluma promises the girl that he can win over her family, as if he's that confident they could spark a relationship together. What's even funnier is how that line seems to work, and the two begin crooning. Speaking of whom, I think I understand the appeal of Peso Pluma. The guy has this very relaxed, carefree vibe to him that makes people want to relax to his tunes. When it comes to music, I enjoy the trombone solo that plays during the interlude, bringing a lot of excitement to the song and adding to the party atmosphere, and the bass also complements the sound so tastefully. This song has the honor of being my first Spanish entry to ever appear on my lists, and I'm hoping there are plenty more to come.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I've said it all on the last
Yeah.
one.
Likewise.
Yeah, so let's go on to number 7, shall we?
Mm-hmm. I can start us off, and with number 7, we also have a track we talked about before. I have "Dial Drunk" by Noah Kahan and Post Malone.
Hey!
Yes, and just like you, I'm so glad Noah Kahan had a breakout year this year. Dude deserves one for sure after trying in the industry for so long to have his moment. What I really like is how self-aware he is in framing his actions and moods during the story he's telling. Like, it's like, yeah, what he's doing is really pitiful, but he knows that. Like, he's not trying to sell it up like he's in the right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, he knows he's spiraling out of control.
Mm-hmm. And also, like you, I enjoy the original a bit better, but Post does not disappoint with him telling a similar story that ends up leading to the same conclusion. I think Mark said it best when he kind of compared this collab to like "Ride and Dirty" by
Oh,
Millionaire
God.
and Crazy Boat. I could kind of see it, honestly, with how they interact. But yeah, great song. Definitely recommend.
I'll have to see that video from Mark
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, I think
To
I
believe
think you had
it.
a good point with how kind of like the balance of playing a role where you're very obviously in the wrong, but uh, you're kind of like also kind of aware of it. I think there are a few other songs on Stick Season the album that don't quite strike it as well.
Yeah.
But that Junk's a good case, a good showcase of it being done correctly.
Hmm. Right. So, I think I could do my number seven, right?
Yep.
All right. My number seven pick was "Heart Like a Truck" by Lainey Wilson.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Now we get to focus on this. Now we get to focus on the superior Lainey Wilson song about trucks.
Yeah.
Um, what I appreciate about this song is how much Lainey takes advantage of the simile she has set up for herself. She's built like a truck. She's tough and sturdy on the exterior, but can be very complex on the inside. This symbolic truck of hers needs to be cared for and loved, routinely cleaned, checked for any broken parts, and used at an appropriate rates. When on the ride, the route can be convoluted, filled with plot holes, debris, and can lead you down wrong turns. But as long as you know how to work with it, you'll find your way past the back road and start cruising on smooth pavement. It's very cool to see Lainey tell her new man what will be in store for him if they pursue this love, handling this scenario with poise. When it comes to the instrumentation, it's wonderful to hear the bluesy keyboards and the organ melody carried throughout captures the solemnness and persistence that Lainey is aiming for. Lastly, we have the amazing belting from Lainey on the final chorus. In fact, I think this song made me realize how much I've missed belting on songs. Like, it needs to make a comeback. I have no idea how Lainey Wilson became the only female country singer nowadays to consistently score hits, but I welcome her success. And Heart Like a Truck is a testament to her longevity.
Yeah. The
yeah.
story of
I like it.
So you go. You go.
Yeah, Harley Kachuk it's really good. I guess the reason I didn't make my list is, well, I do absolutely adore that last chorus. And I do like the production here. Uh, wasn't huge on the lyric. Like it is a somewhat interesting flip on like your traditional like almost like list country, but uh, doesn't do much more for me beyond that.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. The story of how this song went viral, like, I think is really funny, with Twitter users
Oh,
discovering how she looked like. Let's just say.
yeah.
Um.
Yeah, I remember Sean talking about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she leaned into that
Oh yeah,
both
which
on
was cool.
TikTok and also with the album release of the album name Bell Bottom Country,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which is a pretty good album by the way. You should check it out.
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny, and yeah, Heart Like a Truck. I also think it's pretty decent. You know, same as Watermelon Moonshine. Um.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Why don't you, uh, get to your number seven, Fanstar?
All right, my number 7 is somewhat of a contentious one.
All right.
It is All My Life by Lil Durk and J Cole.
All right.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
All right. All right.
all right, obligatory fuck Dr. Luke.
Of course.
Besides,
Yep.
his
Yep.
part is the
Fuck
worst
Dr.
part of
Luke,
this
as
song,
always.
anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because
Obligatory fuck Dr. Luke master.
this would probably be higher if it had better production. Yeah, like Luke is just, or Dr. Luke is just not remotely good when it comes to trap beats.
Not at all.
He's most lazy and uninterested on those. Um, but yeah, let's talk about what actually makes this song good, which is the penmanship that Dirk and Cole bring here. Though, I guess mainly it's Cole bringing it this
Yeah.
high. He steals the show, as he usually does.
Right.
That said, I do like Dirk's verse. I like again guys come up and try to get back to communities, like meeting with the well, he met with both the former mayor and the current mayor of Chicago, like Laura Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson. But yeah, Cole, I guess he goes a lot more deep about how a young rapper fumbled the bag when it comes to like making the money from Rap Blast, and then he goes like really deep into about like young rappers dying prematurely, and kind of putting on blast a lot of those like online sites to like make clickbait out of it, and like
Right.
it offers like almost like a rule to follow. If you didn't post them out live, you can't post them out after you get hit.
Great line.
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's those verses that really make that song great for me. The chorus is whatever. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's not bad, if in my opinion, but it kind of doesn't fit with the overall vibe. It almost feels like
Right.
almost feels like it's made for a different song. And
Mm-hmm.
it was just put here because that they decided that that would make it the most appealing to pop radio. Which, to be fair, it was a big hit on pop radio, so I guess it worked that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I really like All My Life. Yeah, J. Cole kind of washes Dirk. I really like Dirk's message though. That he says throughout the song. But yeah, J. Cole is on point. The beat. The only reason I feel like it would have also made my best list if the beat was better, and Lil Durk was a bit more focused in a sense. But yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have any malice towards All My Life. It's not exactly the song I'm going nuts over, but yeah, I think it's decent. I think it deserves to be one of the bigger hip hop songs of the year. Yeah, I vibe with it.
I mean,
It's cool with me.
in a sense, it does kind of remind me of that another J Cole collab. Is one with 21 Savage a lot. Though of course the difference
A
there
lot
is
is
that a lot has uh,
better beat.
flips. It does a really good flip of a great R&B classic.
Okay.
While this one is just Dr. Luke doing whatever.
Dollar
On the
store
Right,
beat.
piano.
exactly. Dollar store beat, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I guess with that we can move on to number 6.
But you can start us off.
All right. All right, here we go. So my number 6 pick was Escapism by Ray and 070 Shake. When I first played Escapism, I was in awe of the song blasting through my headphones. I asked myself how something like this could exist in the actual pop landscape. The best way I can describe Escapism is that it's just pure misery. Ray is going through a nasty breakup, and she copes by going to the club, wasted off her ass, giving different guys lap dances, and doing many different drugs. You can almost describe it as a relapse anthem because she mentions how these were bad habits she possessed years prior, and they reappear after she experiences something rather traumatic. Ray makes each and every rhyme sound effortless, perfectly illustrating the night she's having. I love the mellotron that plays like an alarm at the beginning, the drum line that gives the song a real street appeal, and the pianos that emphasize how dreary the situation is. The bridge is nothing short of genius, where the sound becomes very distorted, signifying how the drugs in Ray's system are taking over. The line, I remember nothing, so there's nothing to regret, has so many dark layers, I can't even begin to dig into it. The reason I have Escapism ranked this low is that it's so intense that I can't give it too many repeat listens. Sort of like how Todd felt about Praying. Still, I salute Ray and 070 Shake for creating a hauntingly gorgeous tune.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll have more to say about escapism later, but on
Same
your point
here.
about replayability, um, this was actually one of the most replayable songs off of My 21st Century Blues for me.
Hmm.
um,
Okay.
it's a fantastic album.
Mm-hmm.
But it
I
a
bet it
lot of the
is.
and there's a few tracks that actually like two of the other singles that didn't really come hits that I actually liked more than Escapism, but both of those are way less repeatable. Black
Mm-hmm.
Mascara and Ice Cream Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Black Mascara is a banger. But yeah, I'll have more to say later
Okay.
on this also.
Nice. I'm eager to hear that. So Fanstar's next, right?
Yeah, my number 6 is Kill Bill by SZA.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay.
We got some scissor on
Yeah,
here.
just absolute banger murder ballad. My favorite song off of SOS. Um, love the other production. Fits the theme here. And I think your vocals fit it all. I think my favorite moment is that tiny switch up of the lyrics in the chorus for the final chorus from "I might kill my ex" to "I just killed my ex."
Right.
It's small detail, but it's one that is a love. It kind of reminds me of some of Taylor Swift's songwriting,
Mm,
especially back like in the early 2010s when she was still in country.
right.
How she like do a little flip of the chorus at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
well, I guess like she would more often subtly switch it each time, but
Mm-hmm.
either way, it's just a
Right.
absolute banger. Great song.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll,
I think he'll. Oh, you were gonna say something, Roadrunner?
yeah. Quick. I'll quickly say I'll have more to say on it later.
Nice. Okay. Kill Bill definitely is one of those songs that you could just really vibe out to. One thing I really like is how it has like an old school sort of sound to it, which is very like Quentin Tarantino esque,
Hmm.
and it's almost like she's capturing his style of filmmaking in the song, which I respect. And yeah, I just really enjoy the way it's constructed. SZA just sounds beautiful, like always. It's a jam.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess now I can move on to my number 6,
Hmm.
which is "Where She Goes" by Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Yes. Yet another example of Bad Bunny being so incredibly versatile. This time he tries his hand at Jersey Club, and you can tell he treats any genre he's going into with the with so much respect instead of just using it as a quick viral moment. The
Hmm.
Jersey Club beat here is top tier and has this really cool dark atmosphere to it. Bless you. Like most, um, like most of his songs do. And even with the like usual Bad Bunny type lyrics, he incorporates it well into the song, and yeah, it's just such a cool song all around.
Nice.
It
I remember that. You said you go Fanstar?
I was comment this like really great song. It that didn't quite make my list just due to competition. It's kind of
Hmm.
funny how my two favorite songs from Jersey Club, at least that I've heard, um, are Bad Bunny and a K-pop group.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And just to add on, since I was talking about it, Jersey Club is getting so incorporated into like every type of genre now. I guess like all of them except country. That would be interesting mix. But like you hear it in pop songs, you hear it in hip hop songs, you hear it in like sometimes in R&B songs. Like the way people are incorporating that rhythm into a lot of their tracks, I think is super interesting. And
Nice.
the EDM songs, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, where it goes, not too bad. I don't think it's one of my favorite Bad Bunny songs, but yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Um. All right. I
So
Now we move on to number 5,
let's
which
go.
I think Fanstar starts us
Start.
off on.
Yeah. And number 5 is Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, for the Swifty in me, this was this going number 1 was the best moment of 2023.
It
Hmm.
um,
was a really cool moment.
yeah, I'm glad that eventually was able to do so, even though it probably should have been the lead single for Lover, and
So
Mm,
true.
right.
and the alternate timeline over Me.
Mm,
But yeah, just a fantastically constructed song. with like, and I also love like the lyric here like, as well. Like with the Cruel Summer itself referring to the summer of 2016, which was not a great one for Taylor Swift. If
Yes,
you,
for reasons.
yeah, like that, I think about then was when the whole controversy around Kanye West's song "Famous" off of T-Lop uh, blew up, as well as like other stuff, and that was like kind of like her low point for her reputation.
Right.
And like that stuff kind of inspired the whole Reputation album as well.
Right.
But yeah,
Yes.
this specifically is more about her then secret relationship with Joe Alvin that she kept hidden from the press for the better part of a year, where it
Right.
finally got discovered. And how, and also like how it kind of started very slow, but then eventually it ended up falling headfirst into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, and like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. "Cruel Summer," phenomenal song.
for sure. Yeah, I've said my piece. So now I get to my number 5, which is also a repeat of what someone else had, and it's "Vampire" by Olivia Rodrigo.
There you go.
Yep. I wasn't sure what to expect when this first came out, since Olivia's singles from her last album were very hit or miss for me. But this was a very rare jaw drop moment after the first listen. Olivia masterfully builds the instrumental. She talks about how she was treated by her past partner. And even though it's very theater kidcore, she sells it beautifully. And I'm glad she got to tell off that fame fucker wherever he is.
The fame fucker.
Yep, the fame fucker. But yeah.
Beware the fame fuckers.
But yeah, it's one of the singles where the theater kidcore stuff actually worked. Like, I wasn't too crazy on Bad Idea, right? Which is unfortunately looks like it's gonna get caught between years.
That hurts. It stings.
Yeah, and Get Him Back was a banger though. But yeah,
Okay. Oh man, I really, really, really wanted Bad Idea right to make 2024. Oh man, It's a tragedy. But yeah, you've heard my thoughts on Vampire. Enough for them, in fact. So I think I'll just give my number 5, and that is going to "Boys a Liar" Part 2 by Pink Panthers and Ice Spice. Here's the first of 2 remixes you'll find on my list. It's honestly a shock that this song only lasts for just over 2 minutes, because in that short time frame, it's able to accomplish a lot. It finds 2 girls feeling hurt that their boyfriend has been playing them, seeing another woman behind their backs, and they lament and how insecure it makes them feel. I was already charmed by its cutesy bubblegum composition, but the song is made by its 2 performers. I really hope Pink Panthers isn't just another British artist who briefly crosses over into the United States and then dips, because she brings a lot to the song. Her persona as a broken angel can give her so much depth, allowing us to look at how shattered her emotions are. Of course, "Boys a Liar" is only enhanced by Brooklyn's own Ice Spice. She casually lays down slick rhymes and compliments Pink's soft voice. Easily the best part of the song is when the beat cuts out momentarily and she says how she can't sleep or eat without him, showcasing a lot of vulnerability. That is taking my pick for the best 2 seconds of pop in 2023. I take a lot of pride in this being my most streamed song of the year. When we look back on 2023, this will be seen as the year's definitive pop jam. Mark my words.
yes, sir. Yep, yep. Really good track, as you said. But yeah, since we've already all said our piece, I guess I can move to my number 4, right?
4 time.
Yes. For my number 4, I have "Bloody Mary" by Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this song needs no proper introduction. This was a track off of her 2011 album "Born This Way" that had a revival. Strangely, it had a revival due to the Wednesday show, but it wasn't on Wednesday. It was basically it was during the dance scene of the show. People didn't like the original song that they used on the show, so they replaced it with Bloody Mary, and that's how it started going crazy viral. And it does fit the vibe of the show, but not only that, it has this really cool electro goth fusion, and I can literally replay this track like 100 times and never get sick of it. It's so catchy. Even if this was heavily pop radio carried, they ended up choosing a great catalog hit here, especially since it actually hit the year in two, which is cool. But yeah,
Nice. Very fitting that we're recording this on a Wednesday.
yeah,
um, but yeah, I really like how gothic the song is. It's very fun. Yeah, and it's from one of Lady Gaga's best albums. It's probably her best album, like for real. Born This Way, absolute gem. But yeah, totally worth it revisiting.
yeah.
In a sense, I do appreciate like the song's existence, but it's probably my least favorite of the singles that have gotten pushed from Born This Way.
Oof. Fair.
Um, though to be fair, I do at least like, if not love, all the other ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Born This Way
Yeah.
title track, You and I.
Yeah, that's fair. You and I is a banger for whenever we get to 2011.
You were,
At the edge of glory.
Yeah.
Edge of Glory. Yeah, and just so many amazing singles that came from that album. Like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, what an era.
Oh.
So I think I'll talk about my number 4. That was I Remember Everything by Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves.
Okay.
Well, at least not every country chart topper from this year was a stinker. Zach and Casey do a magnificent job at playing a separated couple reminiscing on the memories they share. It possesses such a wistful vibe, emphasizing how the love between these two has evaporated slowly, like her parents. They could never build a strong connection, and all they have to show for it is a single perfect memory of them having the time of their lives at the beach. That recollection is so pure, it sticks inside both of their minds, even as they witness the collapse of the relationship. The tragedy is just so poignant, yet beautiful. I appreciate how I Remember Everything takes its time to set a mood and establish an environment, letting us know we're about to sit down for a sad tale. I always admire the guitar strumming Zach does on his songs, but pairing it with the thunderous drums, especially on Casey's verse, creates for something grand. What ties the whole tune together is the orchestral section, giving the track a cinematic aura. Casey Musgraves reaching number 1 of the Hot 100 was something I could only dream of 5 years ago. But now it's become a reality. I will forever respect Zach Bryan for making this possible. Country music is honestly blessed to have a song like this become huge because it gives hope that it could see more brilliant gems with its continued rise.
Yeah. I'll have more to say on this later.
Nice.
Likewise.
Okay.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So Fanstar, what was your number 4?
So my number 4 was a comeback single that it seemed like, at least from what I can gather, most people thought it was just alright. But it's one that's steadily grown on me over time. And ended up, even when I was finalizing the list for this video, ended up shooting up from barely in the top 10 to number 4.
Okay.
Lift Me Up by Rihanna.
Alright.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So simple as construction, yet so hauntingly beautiful. A very fitting tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman.
Yep.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Yeah, the piano and strings here fit perfectly with Rihanna's absolutely impeccable vocals. Everything in the song basically is set up to make her like the center piece. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I even like Tim's writing here, even though a lot of people think it's overly simple and generic. I think it um, does enough, even with how little it does.
Right.
It kind of just lets her Rihanna's performance itself, and uh, can be the center place. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just incredible. Guys, how soundtracks, like, I'm glad this
Nice.
came a hit and managed to make the year end.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it deserves to be a hit too. I wasn't too impressed by it, but I do think it's a meaningful song. I can tell that it's touched a lot of people, and its use in the Wakanda Forever movie really did hit. So yeah, I think it's great that this is the song Rihanna chose to make a comeback with. Honestly, it's meaningful. It's really meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good ballad. No complaints. I didn't get a chance to see Black Panther 2, but just knowing its context of it having to do with Chadwick, yeah, it's potent, definitely.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I guess now we get to move on to our number 3, and Sundrop.
Okay.
You can start us off with
All
that.
right. You got it. All right. This is gonna be a fun one. My number three was "Put It on the Floor Again" by Lotto
Ooh,
featuring Cardi B.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll use my white side to talk about Zach Bryan. Now I'll use my black side to talk about Lotto. Shawty was out here cooking, let me tell you. Oh, I didn't have too much to rave about Lotto, save for her verse on G-Eazy's Down, but her top 20 jam from this year has me excited for more. It's so much it's so much fun to see how confident Lotto is in herself, getting to wear every expensive chain she can find, and letting the valet park her boat. She feels so empowered to the point where she feels as if she can finance any boy she wants, and maybe he can even have her baby as a reward. I also have to compliment Grizz for the ferocious trap beat. I'm hoping he'll find more work in the industry. But when Cardi B comes in with the second verse, that's when the track becomes absolute fire. Love how she aggressively tells off online haters, describing how they'll create numerous accounts to bag on her. I also love the countless references they make, like the tasteful tribute to Shawty Low, saying they feel as sexy as Britney Spears, and the shout out to NCAA champions LSU. Lotto and Cardi B was my absolute favorite team up this year, and it makes me long for when Invasion of Privacy Part 2 will finally grace the world.
Yeah. Um, this was this is definitely a banger. I'll say that. Um, yeah, it was close to making my best list for sure. Cardi B, I noticed whenever she wants to feature on someone else's track, she just ends up stealing the show. Like
Right.
she,
Every time.
yeah, every
Every time.
time, yeah.
Every time.
Which I appreciate. Like she puts her all into each verse, and it ends up as good as it is. And but even the original put on the floor, I really liked, and it shows
Hmm.
that even when Lotto makes concessions for pop, which she usually does, like she's very industry driven. Like she can still put out a banger when she wants to.
Right.
I guess in a way you could say Cardi B is almost like the female rap, what J
J
Cole
Cole, yeah.
is too. Just, yeah.
Exactly.
So it's just
A show stealer. A show stealer.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All
Definitely
right.
good
Put on the
comparison.
floor again is definitely one that's grown on me over time. I
Nice.
like. I'm not too huge on Law's verse itself. I do like how Cardi B flips a lot of the motifs in that verse when in making her own verse. Uh,
Right.
kind of taking like a similar lyrical structure with new punchlines. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just so feel good. So yeah, that's my number three. Fanstar. What about your number three?
well, from one soundtrack ballad to another, my number 3 is "What Was I Made For" by Billie Eilish.
Nice.
Yeah, the other big soundtracks that will get you in the feels. I gotta confess, I haven't seen Barbie.
Oh, really?
But even without that context, this is still in my top 3. It
Nice.
just that much. Yeah, but and I can definitely see how. I think part of like why that works so well is because Billy is also relating it to some of her own like personal things, like relationship with like music and her place like in the industry and in the and stuff.
Right.
It definitely took a while to grow on me, but once it did, it just once it clicked, it just shot right up.
Right.
One of my favorite hits
Exactly.
this year.
Awesome.
Billy
Awesome.
knocked it out of the park yet again.
Knocked it out of the park. A grand slam. A grand slam. I'm gonna have more to say about What Was I Made For quite soon, and and I'm going to make sure I explain myself well.
Yeah, I think "What Was I Made For" is a good song. I just find it a bit like Billy on autopilot, in a sense. Like the writing is good.
Mm.
The like as a ballad, it's good, but like yeah, at this point I expect kind of when Billy is in her lane like this. For some reason, it like disappoints me more than it should. I don't know. Like when you compare something like this to when the party's over, it just doesn't um it doesn't compare, at least in my head. But
It's
yeah.
very funny how "When the Party's Over" is a song that I respect more than I like, and then meanwhile this is kind of and then so this is what clicks for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um
Right.
but yeah, I guess now going to my number 3, I have a song that was talked about. It's "Kill Bill" by SZA.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a very early year favorite of mine. And as you pointed out, my favorite quality of the song is actually sounds like it could be like an end credit song to a Tarantino movie. And not even just Kill Bill, like it could fit the vibe of a lot of them.
Right.
Production surprisingly reminds me a lot of Steve Lacy,
Mm.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's just I would say a more polished version of it. And
Right.
I don't know, I think it's really funny that she's being very playful about these really dark thoughts and situations. And it adds a lot of humor to the track, but I do not expect anything less quality-wise from SZA. So,
Oh no.
yeah.
Yeah.
I somewhat see that comparison in the pure etherealness of the production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just a great song.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Since we talked to I guess now
We talked about COVID. Yeah.
we move on to our number 2s.
Let's go to.
Guess I should start us
Fanstar.
off.
Yep.
Yeah. Go Fanstar.
My number 2 is "Escapism" by Ray featuring 70 Shake.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably make a whole video just on the background behind all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Behind
for
Ray,
sure.
behind relationship with her former label Polydor, and everything that led up to this song and led up to this album. But I guess the short of it is that, back in, I think it was like 2015, Ray signed a 4-album contract with Polydor. But by the time she managed to get out of her contract in 2022, not a single album was released because her label had been blocking it that whole time and just making her release various like collabs on other pop stars songs and doing stuff that very clearly like I guess was like engaging her artistically.
Right.
But yeah, and in 2022, she finally managed to get out of that and release music independently. I think starting with Black Mascara. Uh, this song released like in late 2022, and then it uh, went viral and became her biggest global hit by far, which is incredible.
Yeah,
Um,
it is incredible.
and managed to even become a big hit on U.S. pop radio and like the year end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, and like I said before, it isn't quite my favorite song from my Forever Century Blues, but it's close, and it makes sense that this was the single that really caught on with the general public.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Like now that you
Uh,
mentioned it, there's probably. Oh, sorry. Was I interrupting?
yeah. I mean, Black Mascara, I guess, also has somewhat could fit like on radio, but it's like I guess a bit too dance for the US. And then Ice Cream Man is that album cut that you listen to every once in a long while, and it hits you like a freight train.
Mm.
If you look at the lyrics, it's oh.
Yeah.
but like in a, but like
Yeah.
in, but like in like an impactful, like good way. Just it's hard
Mm-hmm.
to return to because like it's talking about like very real shit. Yeah.
Right.
Like very
Yeah.
dark stuff.
Yeah. As if escapism hadn't already shown me that Ray can talk about some pretty intense stuff.
Yeah.
um.
Mm.
Yeah, this might spoil some stuff, but I'll have some thoughts on it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, my number 2 is I Remember Everything by Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Zach Bryan does it again. This is such a chilling duet he does with Casey here. Them talking about two different perspectives of the same relationship that's already ended, just reminiscing. It's just a haunting track all around, and the rise of Zach Bryan is just something to behold. Something when I first heard of him, when I saw like a track called like From Austin, debuted pretty high on Spotify, and then Something in the Orange went mega viral. I didn't expect him
Yes.
to get this far, and this duet is such a celebration. With there's also really a story here with both Zach and Casey getting shut out by Nashville and the country industry as a whole, and them
Right.
getting to team up, and then them being the ones to hit number 1 too. And
It's a
ending
victory.
ending the streak of all the bad country number 1s of the year.
Yes.
To get there, it was definitely a victory lap in a sense.
At 100%. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Like again, like I can't believe that it actually happened. Like when I first heard Golden Hour in 2018, I was floored by how astonishing it was. Like I thought she should be everywhere, and now she
Yeah.
is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully
Oh.
Casey Musgraves gets like a bigger audience due to the song as well. At least I
Right.
hope
She
so.
does have a debut album coming out next month. Oh, not a debut album, a new album
A new
coming out
album.
next
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
Yeah. So I apologize if I was
Yeah,
interrupted. By the way.
You're good.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going in a different direction. Different direction compared to Starcross and compared to a lot of her older stuff. Like Starcross songs went like pop direction. This one seems to be leaning more into folk,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at least based on the lead single.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
Yeah. Sundrop. You can get into your number 2.
All right. This is the part of the video where I make Roadrunner proud. My
Okay.
number 2 is Chemical by Post Malone.
No.
Revenge! uh, there's been so much talk about Posty's relevance winding to a close, which I hope isn't true because I think I'm starting to feel excited to see what he can produce next. There's a reason why Hollywood's Bleeding is now considered Post Malone's best album to date, and that's because it allowed him to embrace his full potential as a rock artist. Every instrument here ties into each other gracefully, including the acoustic and electric guitars, the maracas, the tambourine, and the bass line that serves as the song's backbone. It's all perfect for a song where Posty is struggling to break free of a girl who he knows is harmful, but still has qualities that keep him coming back. Arguably, the jumpy production could symbolize the fleeting pleasure he feels when he sleeps with his rotten lover, and the tone is still cloaked in such a miserable atmosphere. What makes the song for me is the bridge, where the high-pitched key melodies bring us home, acting as the thrilling climax for this gloomy tale. Chemical has to be my favorite song to dance to in 2023. If Post Malone is delving more into country, which is what people are saying, then Chemical makes me optimistic that he can pull it off.
Yeah, I'm hella excited for that country album he's been teasing. Yeah,
I guess
we'll see how that
that'll be
goes.
very interesting to see. Though I wasn't huge on his inspirational like on like his mixtape thing with it was Joe Dilphy. And that country single, a radio single is kind of mid. Like I just haven't really vibed with anything post drop since Hollywood's Bleeding. To be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Austin is my favorite, has to be my favorite album from him yet. It was one of my
Okay.
favorite albums of, I think I said this on the worst list, but yeah, it was one of my favorite albums in 2023. So, yeah, definitely excited for what he has next.
Nice. Yeah, me too.
Um,
Uh, so so why don't we quickly list off some of our favorite non-hits from the year?
yeah. Um, I guess to start out with, for this I used criteria from stuff on Crow's eligibility list that didn't make the year end.
Okay.
That also probably will not make the year end next year. I have
Okay.
See You Again by Tyler the Creator featuring Kali Uchis. It was so close. Dons by Zach Bryan featuring Maggie Rogers, which was even closer.
Yes.
Telekinesis by Travis Scott featuring Future and SZA. Such a great track.
Nice.
Tourniquet by Zach Bryan. Just a deep cut from his newest album, I Love. Ceilings by Lizzie McAlpine. Beautiful, beautiful track. I Know by Travis Scott, which sadly was sadly caught between years. And then lastly is Trance by Metro Boomin featuring Travis Scott and Young Thug.
Nice. Okay. I think I heard that Zach Bryan and Maggie Rogers song. But yeah, I think that might be the one I recognize the most. But yeah, it's a shame it probably won't make 2024. Um, so I think I could list off my favorite non-hits right now. Um, okay. So first off, I have "Where Do We Go Now" by Gracie Abrams. Good Riddance deserves a lot more attention. "Goated" by Armani White and Denzel Curry. That one is just a lot of fun. I jam after that one. "Don't Say Love" by Leanne. I really hate that Little Mix never crossed over into America, at least not in the top 40 realm. "Do You Want to Party" by Fleece. This was a fun little pop rock song that I was introduced to by a friend. And then "Sweet Spot" by Lindsay L. A nice little country song that you can sing to your lover on the guitar. So yeah, those are my favorite non-hits of 2023.
Yeah, for mine, I went with songs that had some traction, but weren't quite able to pick the year end. Um, yeah, I also have "Dons" by Zach Bryan featuring Maggie Rogers, um, and "In Your Love" by Tyler Childers. Though that
Oh,
one might actually
great
re-enter
one.
soon.
Hopefully
Um,
it does.
yeah, fantastic video. I'm shocked it's catching traction on radio because it's something that uh, I wouldn't have thought in a million years get play there. Um, yeah, also "Here with Me" by David, uh, which is this earnest track that works surprisingly well. It is almost shocking this is from the same guy who made "Romantic Homicide."
Mm.
And then to round it out, I have two songs from the regional Mexican scene. Um, First, Fragile by Yritza y su esencia in Copa Frontera.
Okay.
Really good duet. Uh, and then the final one didn't make the Hot 100, but did make Bubbling Under. Keagania by Yuridia and Angela Aguilar, which is my
Nice.
favorite song from that scene that was big in 2023. Um, though my favorite song from that scene overall is probably La Casita by Banda San Luis MS de Cerca y Zaraga from I think 2021.
Okay.
That's a beautiful song. Uh,
Mm.
yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, if anybody is listening, be sure to check out those songs because they have all of our cosigns.
Yep. Um,
Hmm.
I guess now we get to a number one, and as per tradition, we will say our number ones at the same time, and then explain it one by one. You guys ready?
All
Yeah,
right.
let's do it.
3, 2, 1.
I
Escapism
remember
What
by
everything.
was I
Ray
made
featuring Go
for?
70 Shake. Okay.
All
I
right.
will just quickly get to mine because you guys both said your piece on it. I literally start off saying, "What else can I say about the song that hasn't already been said?" It's like such a storybook, story, like such a perfect storybook type of story with, what happened with Ray and her old label, and she finally got freed, and then this song went viral, and yeah, it's just not even like I think the story just adds to it, but the song itself is such. It's like we were talking about before. It's kind of like it reminds me a lot of like early Weekend in terms of the types of topics she talks about and how she deals with them and her perspective. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's such a great track all around, and I'm thankful it's my favorite hit of 2023.
Nice. Yeah, just so deep. Just amazing. Like, so unbelievably good.
Mm-hmm.
And so my number one was What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. I'm always proud of Billie for making the year exciting when it lacks substance. Once again, she creates something worthy of endless praise. It's outstanding just how much magic Billie and Phineas can spark with just a piano, harp, violin, and a few spare drums. It's perfect for the subject matter at hand. As Billie continues her journey through music, she struggles to grapple with her identity, sensing that it's hollow. She just feels like an entertainer meant to please consumers. I'm awestruck at how Billie ties her own experiences with womanhood to Barbie's. Much like the character Barbie, she feels like she's made of plastic and is seen as a burden when she doesn't do enough to please the masses, almost like she's failing the causes she's meant to represent. Always feeling the need to prove her worth becomes tiring, as Gloria put it herself, and she just needs room to breathe. It works just as effectively both in and outside of the movie. What's most commendable about What Was I Made For is the sense of optimism towards the end, where Billie tells herself she can experience happiness as long as she keeps finding the value in her own life. There's been a bit of a theme with my best list, where artists give in to dark feelings when they know they shouldn't. It's all too relatable in a year where I let my anxiety take control of me too often. But I don't have to let it do that. I can still find the joy in my life and move past the darkness if I really want to. And before I know it, I can accomplish dreams that truly fulfill me. So I thank Billie for reassuring her listeners that happiness can be difficult but achievable. What was I made for? My best list, five best song of 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my favorite, my best song of 2023 is "I Remember Everything" by Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like the phraseology you used, Roadrunner, for describing escapism, like this kind of storybook moments. Um, this song debuting number one was kind of a similar kind of deal, but just saying like in country. Uh, for like, Zach Bryan, but especially for Casey Musgraves. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
she is always deserves so much better than how she's been treated, and uh, yeah, this is her first. It's wild that this is her first song to even come close to the year-end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ever since "Follow Your Arrow" in 2013, she's been all like effectively blacklisted from country radio. Um, it's fascinating how country radio is often so quick to blacklist women for even the uh, relatively mild like disagreements with the conservative establishment. Uh, but if for a man to be blacklisted, it require them to do some really heinous shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. 100. Exactly.
it's kind of like a showcase of the institutional sexism you still see. Um, I mean, shit. Like the country radio had a controversy in like I think it was like the mid 2010s where one like radio guy I think said like women were like the dressing on like the country salad or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but like it was like, kind of like unflattering metaphor that really struck a wrong tone for those kind of reasons. But yeah, back to this song. Just like the rest of Zach Bryan's self-titled, just absolutely fantastic song in terms of the product, the sound, and also the lyric here about this reminiscing over a breakup that was at least like in this song story was pretty clearly Zach Bryan's fault. And it almost the way Casey Musgraves is here kind of reminds me of Kimbra's part in Somebody I Used to Know, or That I Used to Know, which that like giant hit out of nowhere in 2012 by two artists that hadn't had a hit before.
Exactly.
Yeah, and especially like with how she which immediately puts him on blast for
Exactly.
being too drunk to notice that she's been hurting as well in this
Exactly.
relationship. But then still say like, I still remember like saying like her daddy's like 88 Ford, and kind of reminded of how at least like in the story, but like her parents had how their relationship had gone and soured
Right.
due to the bottle. Uh, yeah, a special song, special moment. Even if radio still refuses to play this, the masses stream it. That's what counts.
Right. Exactly.
And it's. I just love how in general, country radio's influence has been simply shrinking, and more and more we're seeing artists get traction through streaming alone.
Right.
Like, for example, Sam Barber, Wyatt Flores, Dylan Gossett, those people.
Right.
Exactly. Well, got at least some traction in 2023. Turning into this year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a huge indie country, even more huge than it's already been. A huge indie country coming in the next few years. A wave.
Oh yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
There's actually this. I don't know if you guys necessarily agree, but that YouTuber, what was it, named Grady Smith, described Zach Bryan as the Nirvana of the country scene, and I think that's actually a really good comparison in terms of the breakout story and all that.
I can definitely see that. For sure.
But,
Although, I mean, of course, it has its own like twists, considering the just fractured state in general of music in the modern day compared to the early 90s.
Yeah. So there you have it. Yeah,
All right.
our best list for 2023.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting year. Um,
Mm,
we can only hope 2024 will be better and will bring us these quality
yeah,
hits. Um,
right.
uh,
I mean, hey, if Teddy Swims is climbing up the charts, then I think we're already looking better than than the last year.
yeah.
Yeah, there are. Sorry.
You can go fast.
Yeah, there are a few songs that aren't currently being hits, but that I would like to become so in 2024. I'd like to mention. Um,
Sure.
Okay.
yeah, starting with "Not My Fault" by Renee Rapp featuring Megan Thee Stallion, which recently
Okay.
made Bubbling Under, at least in part thanks to another Megan song becoming
Okay.
huge. Yes.
Mhm.
Also, "Dirt Cheap" by Cody Johnson,
Okay.
which is one of my favorite songs from his album Leather last year, and also managed to make Bubbling Under. Um, and then the final one that would have charted this week if not for Billboard being stupid yet again, is "Don't Let the Old Man In" by Toby Keith, which was a song that he released I think back in 2019. Well, it didn't do anything at all on radio then. It's recently re-entered the top 50 on Mediabase country radio.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm least somewhat hopeful that might actually finally pick up some traction. Yeah. No, that it has
Okay.
like some even more, I guess, like more context.
Yeah.
Okay.
R.I.P. Toby
Um.
Keith.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had any song that I'd like to see become a hit in 2024, probably "Into Your Room" by Holly Humberstone. I find myself returning to that song a lot in Apple Music, and it's just glorious. So, yeah, let's hope for Holly. Um, but yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything we had to do today. So,
Yeah, I guess I can start the outro. This
yeah,
is
go for it.
this is where you guys get off. Hopefully, you will take this trip with us again soon. But before we let you go, we would like to ask you to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed the ride. Again, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next trip.
Goodbye.
Bye.